My new neighbor is a Karen. The first thing this woman did when the moving truck pulled up was march over to measure my driveway. Not introduce herself, not wave hello. She just beelined it across the lawn with a measuring tape and started documenting how many inches my car hung over my own driveway onto the public street. She announced I was violating Municipal Code 247.3 because vehicles can't extend more than 18 inches past private property. My car was maybe 2 inches over. She took photos from every angle while narrating timestamps and already talking about fines. The moving guys just shook their heads. Then came the fence incident. I was grilling in my backyard when she marched over, clipboard in hand, measuring tape extended like a weapon. She announced that my fence was 3 inches over into her property. I put down my tongs and walked over confused. She repeated it, 3 inches of my fence on her land. I scratched my head and explained that about a year ago, the fence had fallen down in a storm. The previous owner and I had a handshake deal and just eyeballed where it should go when we split the cost to rebuild it. She told me that was the previous owner's problem. She was here now, and I needed to move the fence. When I asked if she really expected me to move it, she confirmed I was 3 inches over into her land, and that was valuable space I was stealing from her. I couldn't help but laugh. I tried explaining how fences work. They're cemented into the ground. You can't just pick them up and move them. It would cost thousands of dollars to tear out and rebuild. She didn't care. She wanted the fence moved now. I asked if we could at least split the price since we were talking about 3 inches. She refused. This was my problem since I put it in the wrong place. She threatened that her legal team would be at my door tomorrow morning if I didn't move it. When I asked if she was really going to sue me over 3 inches, she demanded I pull the fence out completely. She wanted it gone. Now. I stared at her for a long moment. In the back of my mind, I remembered something the previous owner had mentioned during the sale. They had a German Shepherd, a big one, an energetic one that needed lots of space to run. That's why they'd appreciated having the fence. I told her, okay, fine. Her face lit up with triumph. She thanked me and said something about finally finding someone who listens to reason. The next day, I hired a crew. By evening, every post, every panel, every inch of that fence was gone. Just bare grass between our properties. I didn't tell her when the work was happening. She wanted it gone. It was gone. The text started 3 days later. She was so happy I removed the fence but wished I'd let her know beforehand. She needed to let her dog out, but he'd run off without a fence. She hoped to see it back up soon. On my property this time. I read it while having my morning coffee and chuckled. I didn't respond. A week passed. Another text came asking when I planned to put the fence back up since her dog was getting restless. I screenshot the text and sent it to my wife. We both had a good laugh. Still didn't respond. 2 days later, she was pounding on my door like the police. I opened it to find her red-faced, hair frazzled, looking like she hadn't slept in days. She screeched about why I wasn't responding to her texts and how her dog was ruining all her furniture. I told her that sounded like a you problem. She was shocked. I explained I wasn't putting the fence back up. She insisted I had to. Her dog was going crazy and had destroyed 2 couches and scratched up all her walls. I told her I wasn't rebuilding any fence. I took it down like she requested. If she wanted a new fence, she could pay someone to put one in on her property. She started yelling that I couldn't do this to her. Her dog needed to run outside. I needed to pay someone to install a fence because she couldn't afford a new one right now. I calmly repeated that was a you problem, not a me problem. Then I just shut the door in her face. Last week I caught her trying to get quotes from contractors. Turns out a new fence cost about $8,000.